Hi everyone, welcome back to the next week of Relationship Tips with Jen. I'm Jen. Every single week I give you a new tip that is going to better your relationship, and today's tip is all about the left brain and the right brain. This is my left and this is my right. So first we're going to start talking about the left brain. Did you know that all people are left brain dominant? Most people actually don't know that. So first I'm going to start talking about what the left brain is responsible for, then I'm going to tell you about what the right brain is responsible for, and then I'm going to tell you how to get more out of your right brain. So first let's start with the left brain. So the left brain is responsible for all reason and logic. It is the thing that grounds us to this world. It contains a memory bank of all things past and creates scenarios for possible future events. And it is the thing that basically tells us what to do. It tells us to get up in the morning and go to work, or else we won't make any money. It tells us to brush our teeth, because if we don't brush our teeth, we'll get cavities. It also tells us who we are and provides us with an identity, who you are as human and basically who you are in this life. The right brain, on the other hand, is all about energy and feelings. It is only present focused. It's all about being in the moment. The cool thing about the right brain is that it connects us to the universe in this very moment, and it actually can't tell where your body stops and the world begins, which is actually pretty neat. The right brain, it's all about euphoria, and it's all about nirvana, just this experience of overwhelming joy. So as I said at the beginning of the video, most people don't actually realize that we are left brain dominant. But what if we're actually missing out? What if we're missing connecting to our right brain and just feeling that joy and euphoria more often? I actually think we are. We're spending so much time in our left brain that we're actually making our lives more complicated and sometimes worse. According to Jo Taylor, she's a brain scientist, and she did an amazing TED Talk called My Stroke of Insight. You should all watch it. It's on YouTube, and just Google it and you'll find it right away. She basically studied herself after she had a stroke. She had a stroke in her left brain, which incapacitated that side, and she observed herself as her right brain was basically turned on, and she observed her entire body and her mindset as that was happening. So after Jill had this stroke, she basically came up with a bunch of things that she noted that our brain does. And the first thing is all about our reactions. She says that when a person has a reaction to something in their environment, there's a 90-second chemical process that happens in the body. After that, any remaining emotional response is just the person choosing to stay in that emotional loop. So basically what she's saying is that after you have your emotional response, your left brain is chatting away and you're choosing to stay in that negative place. She says that something happens in the external world and chemicals are flushed through our body, which basically just puts us on full alert, which is the fight, flight, or freeze response that I talked about in one of my earlier videos. And for those chemicals to totally flush out of the body, again, it takes less than 90 seconds. This means that for 90 seconds, you can watch the process happening and then slowly go away. After that, if you continue to feel fear, anger, anxiety, and so on, then you actually need to look at the thoughts that you're thinking and change the circuitry so that you're no longer staying in that negative response. So instead of keeping a loop in your head and saying something like, oh, I can't go to that new restaurant for dinner because I'm afraid that if I meet new people, I am going to, make a fool of myself. Maybe you say something like, well, if I say the wrong thing, then that's okay. It's a learning process. Or you probably won't say the wrong thing because there's no wrong thing to say. So these findings are actually huge. It basically means that humans can choose to stay in pain. We can choose to stay in fear. We're staying in our anxiety, and we're staying in this reality that we really just don't like. So if we choose instead to step into our right brain and let go of the fear and the anxiety, then we'll feel much more at ease, and we might even experience what Joe Bolte Taylor experienced, which is nirvana and euphoria. So how do we do that? Well, activities that stimulate the right brain are good. So those are all creative things. So making artwork, for example, or listening to music. I love listening to music. It really puts me into a great space. Anything that's creative. Cooking, building, mindfulness, those are all great things that help us reach our right brain. So now that you know that you can actually choose to let go of those negative thoughts and enjoy a much more positive, euphoric sort of life, the question is, will you? Do you want to? Letting go of fear and anxiety is really, really scary. It means that you're vulnerable, and being vulnerable is scary. But what's worse, staying in your left brain and continuing the cycle of negative thoughts, telling yourself that you're not good enough, or trying to step into the right brain, feeling a little bit of peace, and living a joyful life? I guess you have to ask for yourself. All right, I will see you all again next week. Thanks for stopping by. Again, any tips or comments that you want to share with me is wonderful. Feel free to share my videos, and I'll see you later. Bye.